again. Just before we get started, you know you don't get to keep anything, right? While you're all working your ass off, transferring all your wealth into shiny rocks. Okay. Once we pass the threshold of where it's all headed, what do you plan to do with them shiny rocks? You know, your gold, your silver, your bullion, your shiny rocks. That's all they are, right? That's all they are to you. Can you process them? Can you do anything with it? Anything useful? Do you know anyone who can do anything useful with it? No? You see, two paracetamol tablets will be worth more than the bar of gold. A can of baked beans will be worth more than a bar of gold. You will be able to swap those baked beans for something. No one's going to want your stupid gold, except for those who are going to take it off you very shortly. And what are you going to do to stop them? Nothing. You're also naive. I'm a cooker, you're naive. There's a big difference.
Slaves used to work all day, every day, with no pay. But they got free food, water, and shelter. Today, we work all day, nearly every day, and we get paid. But the money we make, we spend on food, water, and shelter. We're still slaves. The only thing that has changed is the illusion of freedom.
Hi, Steve here. Yesterday, when I went outside, I had a shocking awareness. It was like a lightning strike hit me. And I became just instantaneously aware that this dystopia that it seems like we live in is real. It's not a movie. We see the skies, we see the chemtrails, we see everything that's been going on, especially since 2019. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. The awareness, the realization that we truly are living in the last days.
Governments around the world are all becoming tyrannical all at the same time. This is being done on purpose. This is called order out of chaos. In the same way they did this during COVID, where almost every government around the world walked in lockstep with the exact same agenda to essentially push enslavement on their people until people finally woke up and realized what was being done to them after many people were convinced to take a medical experiment just because someone in authority told you it was safe and effective, and now we see the detrimental harm that it's done. They create order out of chaos. They manufacture crisis events to create chaos, then they can bring order out of that chaos. Problem, reaction, solution. You create a problem. You invoke the reaction that you need from the people, who will then beg you to give the solution for the very same problem they created. From COVID to mass immigration to the digital ID, all this is being used to convince people that it's good for them to acquiesce to their own enslavement. I don't care if you believe the right or the left is looking out for you? Both sides are walking in the exact same direction, and the exact same boot will be placed on your neck, and you won't even notice until you can't breathe and it's crushing your neck. That's how this goes. They've done this in history before, and it's killed millions of people. Do not acquiesce to your own enslavement. The only way out of this is united non-compliance. If enough people say no, they want to create laws against hate speech because they hate what you're saying. They don't like the fact that people are speaking out and waking up to the fact that these politicians are all richer than they've ever been. Doesn't matter what side you align with, they're all corrupt, and they're all being used to push the exact same agenda. The government wants to control every part of your life. From what you say to what you think to where you can go. They want to monitor everyone's behavior and convince you that you should think the way that they want you to think. They want to gaslight you to believe that there is a such thing as hate speech. Hate speech is free speech. It's the freedom to be able to say what you think, when you want, and if somebody disagrees, well, too bad, because I will fight to the death for your right to say it, even if I disagree. We should be monitoring and surveilling every single politician, everywhere they go, everything they do, but yet they're doing this to us. We should know where the money's going. Why are they all richer than they've ever been as we are more poor than we've ever been? This is all being done on purpose. The communist New World Order that they need to implement is the idea they need to bring everybody to the same poverty level. Hence why they're flooding our countries with millions and millions of foreigners who don't really contribute and will just acquiesce to their own enslavement. That's why they need to get rid of white people, because throughout all of history, we're the ones that fight back against these type of agendas. So you better wake up and realize united non-compliance is our only way out.
The elite rulers of this world operate according to a timeless strategy known as order out of chaos. It's from the Latin, ordo ab chaos, a concept rooted in Hegelian dialects and often summarized as the problem, reaction, solution formula. This method is simple, yet devastatingly effective. First, they manufacture or exploit a major crisis, the problem, which generates widespread fear, division, and desperation among the masses, the reaction. Then they step forward with a pre-planned fix, the solution, that advances their long-term agenda, typically greater centralized control, reduced freedoms, and expanded surveillance, measures that would never be accepted under normal circumstances. This pattern repeats relentlessly. Engineered pandemics spark demands for mandatory tracking and digital health passes. Economic collapses or cyber attacks fuel calls for unbreakable digital currencies and AI-managed systems. Social unrest and geopolitical tensions justify emergency powers and data-sharing grids. Each manufactured storm erodes privacy, sovereignty, and individual autonomy while building a technocratic framework where technology, AI, biometrics, algorithms, dictates life itself. A striking modern example is the visible alignment of major tech billionaires around figures like Donald Trump. In recent years, we've seen Silicon Valley titans Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, and others donating massively, attending key events, and influencing policy. They flock to this orbit not out of pure ideology, but because it accelerates the technocracy. Loosened AI regulations, fast-track data centers, cryptocurrency approvals, and export policies that fuel global digital dominance. These savior billionaires help construct the very grid. Surveillance states, neural interfaces, centralized AI that will enforce the new order. What appears as chaotic political theater is in reality coordinated progress toward a unified system of control. Most people remain unaware of the deeper stakes. This emerging dystopia, Orwellian in its total monitoring, Huxleyan in its seductive tech comforts, isn't just about earthly power.
Look at the First World War. At the end of it, the world was a completely different place to what it was before. The Second World War. The world again, the status quo as was no more, and that post-Second World War system has pretty much bubbled along. But now we're looking at the end game. The end game that was planned all along, whereby our artificial intelligence takes over the human mind, the current status quo has to go to allow that to happen. And that's what we're looking at. We're not looking at the end of the globalist world order. We're looking at the next stage of it. Because how it works is this. You have this global cult that operates through governments, through corporations, NATO, the BRICS alliance, all these different areas that appear to be unconnected are actually connected.
Get what you really want with Australia's #1 large SUV 2 years in a row. $3K off the Ford Everest Trend. Available at participating Ford dealers now.
Y'all remember at Trump's inauguration where we seen all these tech billionaires there? There's a reason for that, and I'm going to show you why. In the 1930s, there was this thing called the technocracy movement. It was a social movement active in the United States and Canada. This movement favored technocracy as a system of government over representative democracy and partisan politics. Just take a wild guess of who started this. This movement was called the North American Technate. This movement proposed a unified North America run by scientists and engineers. We know that Elon Musk has been talking about this as well, with his Mars colonization. But do you know who the leader of Technocracy Inc. was? It was this man right here. His name is Joshua Haldeman. He is the grandfather of Elon Musk. Now listen to this. Technocracy is the science of social engineering, the scientific operation of the entire social mechanism to produce and distribute goods and services to the entire population of this continent. Technocracy will distribute by means of a certificate of distribution available to every citizen from birth to death. The Technate will encompass the entire American continent from Panama to the North Pole because the natural resources and natural boundary of this area make it independent. I hope this is starting to click because this is the map of the North American Technate where you see Greenland, Canada, the United States, Mexico, and Venezuela. That's not all. The technocratic movement planned to reform the work schedule to achieve the goal of uninterrupted production, maximizing efficiency and profitability of resources, transport, entertainment facilities, avoiding the weekend effect. Haven't we heard Trump talk about that? According to the movement's calculations, it would be enough that every citizen worked a cycle of 4 consecutive days, 4 hours a day, followed by 3 days off, which sounds good until you start really digging. So here comes the price system. It came up with energy certificates, which would have a table with the information of a citizen's identification, age, sex, occupation, location, energy allotment, and purchases made. And it would be called an energy distribution card. And here is what they proposed decades ago. And for some reason, the duality symbol's there. But you also see the chip. The Universal Identity Card. And they have rules with these cards. There would be equal allotments of energy. Citizens cannot trade or give away certificates. They can only spend energy at verified vendors. Once a purchase is made at the vendor, the energy used is made void. And the certificates have an expiration date. Once again, no citizen can hoard energy. And certificates are directly tied to an individual's ID. Therefore, it cannot be stolen or used by someone else. From the outside, that would sound really good. Now, back then, the computer wasn't used much. They wanted to use an energy certificate in Dewey Decimal System. They could track computation. IBM computers were exactly the kind of devices a CAS would want to deploy. Well, wouldn't you know, they have that now. But they knew that one of the big troubles with all of this is that your computers is going to do away with your accountants and your engineers. And it is also going to do away with your executives as well as blue-collar and white-collar jobs. So Elon Musk has come up with something for this. He predicts AI will create universal high income. It probably won't be income. It will be energy because our economy is about to crash. And that's probably the plan. So here comes Greenland. We'll probably have Venezuela soon, but Trump wants Greenland now too. Billionaires dream of building utopian techno city in Greenland, the Freedom City, because it will have minimal corporate regulation. They want to be able to do whatever they want to. They can focus on accelerating emerging technologies like AI and mini nuclear reactors. And the frigid climate could naturally cool the massive energy extensive AI data centers. Plus, large deposits of critical and rare earth materials buried beneath the island's ice sheets could also potentially be used to manufacture consumer electronics. America is destroying itself because of politics, and everybody is just letting this happen. We are literally watching them do this plan. Y'all remember when Trump said you don't have to vote anymore after this time? Well, if this plan works, there won't be politicians. Tech billionaires will own and run different parts of America.
But you have to get out and vote. And again, Christians, get out and vote. Just this time. You won't have to do it anymore. 4 more years, you know what? It'll be fixed. It'll be fine. You won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christian.
Do you see the plan? Elon's grandfather created it, and now Trump and him are going to implement it. They were talking about this plan decades ago. These Christians heard about it and wrote this book about it, pretty much saying that this is what was going to bring about prophecy. And it will one way or another. We read in Daniel that Nebuchadnezzar had a dream, and it was about a statue, and the toes were the last kingdom, which would be the revived Roman Empire with 10 kingdoms. If we look at the Club of Rome's map, it's 10 kingdoms. Pretty similar to Trump's plan. And Justin Trudeau said that he was going to step down. The next day, Trump called saying that they should be the 51st state. Do you see it? This whole country is so divided, y'all can't even wake up to see what is actually happening. And when you do hear this kind of stuff, you just turn your head because you just don't want to believe it. You don't want to believe that every politician is the same. But the truth is, they all are working for one goal. If you are a Christian, you already know what is going to happen. There is not going to be a golden age. Take a look around. America looks like it's about to fall. And it's all by design to bring in this system. Put your hope and trust in Jesus Christ. Not a man.
From a biblical perspective, it aligns eerily with ancient prophecies. The books of Daniel and Revelation describe a final global empire marked by deception, economic exclusion, no one can buy or sell without the mark, and ultimate spiritual tyranny. Daniel's visions of iron and clay kingdoms and Revelation's beast system point to a technocratic world government that persecutes the faithful and exalts a figure or force embodying ultimate rebellion against God, the Antichrist. The chaos isn't random. It's engineered to birth this order. As crises multiply and solutions tighten their grip, the veil thins daily. The technocracy rising isn't mere progress. It's the scaffolding for end times fulfillment, where human innovation serves darker ends.
You know, I was thinking today about how Jesus said, "Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do." And you look at the world today and so many people out there, and they don't know what the hell they're doing. They're out there, they're protesting for these causes, these things, and they're putting themselves in these positions, and somebody gets hurt. People get hurt. And the social media content creators out there who are stoking the flames and spinning stories and narratives in the media organizations, riling people up. And bad decisions get made. People get out of their head, they get into their feelings, they're offended, and the emotions run high, and they make bad decisions, and somebody gets hurt. You know, the enemy, he poisons the hearts and the minds of so many people, and chaos ensues. Chaos ensues, violence happens. This is where we're at in the world today. And I pray for so many people, everybody out there who doesn't know who Jesus Christ is, because Jesus is the only one that can settle your heart. That can settle your heart, calm your emotions, bring that fire under control. Understand that you're being lied to in everything in this world, that Jesus is the only truth. He is the only one that's going to lift the veil so that you can see this world for what it really is. I pray that for everybody out there. Find Jesus, because this world is going to continue to fall into anarchy, into disarray, into chaos.
Awareness is the first step. Resisting through faith, discernment, and refusal to comply is the path forward. The last days aren't approaching. They're unfolding now, hidden in plain sight. Think about it.
That time you got away from all these clowns. These fake Christians like Tim Dwyer, who reckons he's illiterate. Can't read, he reckons. Couldn't read. Selling Brock polarised. That card Brock polarises people. Carl Eibulb, you're a fucking maggot, mate. You're all maggots. You're all maggots. You're all in on it? No, I know it. I've got you figured out. Ricardo BOSI, mate, your hands are filthy. Filthy. Like the other fella said, our only hope is in unified civil disobedience. We can't keep acquiescing to this shit. You're digging your own fucking graves. Buying all this gold. Mark and Sam after work, you're just as bad, mate. You're in on it, mate. You're in on it. Riddle me this. Everyone in Australia gets hassled about their firearms, except for those speaking up online about firearms. You ever thought about that, logically? Sam and Mark after work, Sam and Mark after work, Mark and Sam, whatever they call themselves. Just doing all of this crazy firearms. He's still shooting shit. And talking shit. Trying to tell you that you have to keep protesting and you have to keep annoying and harassing the government and no, look at me, look at me. No, look at me, look at me. I'm telling you to go and look at your fucking self. No, look at me. I figured it out.